Alright, here we go. Clifton Nicholas, Henry Eli Skeletor here, and I'm gonna do my video review of what I consider to be the best action movie of all time. Now, let me actually explain this better. Action movie, romance is Die Hard. Now you're saying to yourself, Cliff, what do you mean best romantic movie of all time? No, that's not a romance. That's an action, because things blow up and people die. I'm going to give you a little synopsis of this movie, just to let you know, give you an idea of what we're dealing with here. A young Bruce Willis, a young, handsome Bruce Willis, a guy that really isn't known in the movie industry real well at this point. He hasn't really done much. He's known for a character he plays, David Addison, on the TV show Moonlighting. So they're a little bit concerned, you know, about using like a TV actor and bringing him over to movies. At the time, this is basically unheard of. Like now we see it happen all the time. I mean, you see guys like Chris Pratt, Will Smith, Teddy Ruxpin. Die Hard came out in 1988, based on a book called Nothing Lasts Forever. Nothing Lasts Forever is a sequel to the book The Detective. Sorry if I lose you here. But Nothing Lasts Forever, the sequel to the detective book, is also based off the movie Towering Inferno. Die Hard is based on a book that is a sequel to a book called The Detective, but the sequel is based on a movie called The Towering Inferno. I probably made that way too confusing. They shot this movie around to everyone. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, Clint Eastwood, even Dustin Hoffman.
Rock and roll.
They all shut it down. Eventually, they get Bruce Willis for the role, and as we know now, this is a career-defining role for Bruce Willis. Let's get into the movie itself. The movie itself starts off with this NYPD detective. He's on a plane, he's going to Los Angeles, where he's going to visit his wife that he is separated from. See, I'm going to show you how this is a romantic movie. Just give me some time on this. He flies in, right? You got to keep in mind, this is an action. This is a guy that's going to be an action hero. He's on the plane. He doesn't like it. He's got a ton of anxiety. He's not a fan of being on this plane. So he's sitting beside the guy on the plane. The guy on the plane gives him what I call some very bad good advice.
You want to know the secret to surviving air travel? After you get where you're going, take off your shoes and your socks. Then you walk around on the rug barefoot and make fists with your toes.
You know, to me, I hear this, I'm like, that's pretty good advice. Why not? Relax. I love it when I take my socks off. When I get home after a long day, boots off, socks off, get maybe some warm socks out of the dryer, put those ones on instead. That's a good time for me. He gets off the plane, gets picked up by his limo driver. He meets Argyle. First day on the job for Argyle. He asks a lot of questions, and this is at the beginning of the movie where we don't know anything about the characters. So it's actually a brilliant writing tool. You know, John McClane is going to be like, yo, you ask a lot of questions, but he'll answer some of them because he's giving us as the audience a little bit of insight into his character, who he is, what his problems are with his wife, what his dedication to his job is in New York. Also, John rides in the front seat, so I think that's kind of interesting, shows what kind of guy he is, and this is it. This is the greatest part of the movie, right here.
Hey, the work. Did you get any Christmas music? This is Christmas music.
It was December 24th when Hollis Avenue the dark. When I seen a man chilling with his dog in the park. I approached him very slowly with my heart full of fear. Looked at his dog, oh my God,
Whoa, what is this? This is incredible. I'm hearing like this music that, you know, for the rest of my life is my favorite form of music, you know, and hip-hop, and it's Run DMC, and it's just one of the greatest Christmas songs of all time. This is the best action movie of all time, the most romantic movie of all time, and number 3, the best Christmas movie of all time. They get to the building. Finally, Argyle looks over at John McClane. He's like, you know, John, you want me to stick around for a bit? Because what if you go up there and your wife and things don't work out and she gives you the boot? You know what, I'm going to stick around for you. I'll wait down here in the basement. John gets to the building. So he walks through the building, he's kind of eyeing people, he's seeing what's going on. Gets upstairs, big party being thrown. Right away meets a character who I would credit as probably one of the douchiest characters ever in movies.
Show him the watch.
Later.
Well, go on, show them. What are you, embarrassed? It's just a small token of appreciation for all our hard work. It's a Rolex.
Sees Holly, goes in the washroom and takes his shoes off, and then starts to argue with Holly. Holly leaves the room. Wouldn't you know it, would-be terrorists start taking over the building. In comes Hans, aka Alan Rickman. This is actually Alan Rickman's cinematic debut. One of the, greatest movie villains of all time. Phenomenal. Best movie death ever. So, terrorists, boom, machine guns everywhere. They're firing shots everywhere. They gotta let the people in the party, the executives that are working at this building, know that they mean business. So they grab the boss, they bring the boss upstairs, they say, hey, dude, we need the codes. We need the codes to get into the vault. And the boss is like, hey, what kind of terrorists are you? What do you mean? We're not even terrorists, idiot. We want money because money is awesome and we're gonna live a really good life after this. And so, cool. That's the thing that they want. I get it. This is the problem. They're now up here kicking in doors, checking rooms. Oh, one of the rooms they kick in the door, first boobies I've ever seen in a movie. Unfortunately, John McClane is in one of these rooms. He runs out of that room, gets in a stairwell and just boogies out of there, right? Problem is, dude has no shoes. This is a bit of an issue here, right? He doesn't have a lot of options at all. All he knows is he wants to try to get a hold of the police. This is, I would say, 40 minutes into the movie, and this is our first real action scene. Now I have to point that out, and the reason being, I love story development. It's really important for me when I'm watching a movie. Give me a reason to care about these characters. Oh, you know what? I didn't even point this out. This movie's taking place at Christmas time. That's why there's this Christmas party happening and also a celebration because I guess this company landed some big deal. John McClane takes a beating in every scenario he's in. I mean, at one point they're shooting and there's windows everywhere. This man is trapped in the corner. What does he do? John McClane, he runs across the glass. And now his feet are bleeding all over the place. The dude can't find shoes anywhere in this building. But also holding his wife, Holly, hostage. His wife that he's having marital issues with. Everything in the world, everything that is important is this woman to him. See? See how I'm getting into how it's a romantic movie? This is what I'm saying. This is a dude that's doing everything in a building, going through so many obstacles to save his woman. Now, it's romantic because he's trying to save his woman, but that's probably just a guy's version of what romantic is. And, some girls are watching this right now going, Cliff, really? Really? That's what you... Is that, yeah. No. He saves Holly, kicks Alan, through a watch. There's the watch thing, you gotta watch the movie. It actually comes back from the beginning. The douchey character, Harry, gives Holly a watch. Ends up being, they're hanging off a building, and Hans is holding, the last thing he has to hold on to is this watch that douchebag Harry gave to Holly. And it was just perfect because John McClane gets to reach over and unhitch the watch. Holly, John presses around, everyone's been saved, big heroic moment as everyone's leaving the building, but one of the bad guys is still alive. Carl Winslow, yes, that's what I call him, that was his name on Family Matters, jumps up and shoots the bad guy. So that's basically the end of the movie. Holly and John, they get in the limo with their boy Argyle.
Oh, the weather outside is
frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
It's a beautiful time. You may agree with me, you may disagree with me. So I want to know, what do you consider one of your favorite action movies of all time? Also, on top of that, subscribe to this channel. Share this with your friends and go eat some pecan pie. Why not? It's delicious.